Hello students, welcome to Math Fam. I'm Reena. So this is another past paper set practice questions for IB MYP 5 upcoming exam. These questions are going to be helpful to you to prepare for the exam. So for that you should know it's always 100 marks paper here. Whenever you are having e-assessment it will be 100 marks and the time will be allotted as 2 hours. So try to finish your paper in 1 hour 45 minutes so that you will have time to recheck your paper, recheck your calculation part. So let us start with our first question here. What is there here? If you'll see, the question is based on coordinate geometry. Here it says ABCD is a rectangle with the given coordinates of vertices here. So ABCD is the vertices. So you have to remember the properties of rectangle. You should know the diagonals of a rectangle here, because when you see the rectangle, opposite sides are equal and parallel here. So this is parallel to this will be parallel to this, and they are equal. And what are the properties of the diagonals? Diagonals are equal and they bisect each other. So you get the isosceles triangle. So let us see here, what is the first part here? It says using gradient show that AB is perpendicular to AD. Now with the figure you know AB is perpendicular to the AD, but what is the way to show that the lines are perpendicular here? So you know that this is 1A. If I can prove that here the gradients of both product is -1, then AB will be perpendicular to AD. That means I have to get the gradient of AB first here. So take it here, gradient of AB. If I take it as M1, so you have to take the coordinates of A and B. So what is this one here? Y2 minus Y1 by X2 minus X1. So here if I take here AB, 10 minus 4 by 9 minus of minus 3 here. So you will get it here 6 by 12, which is half. So this is your gradient M1 of AB. Then next you have to get the gradient of AD, because you need to prove that they both are perpendicular. So here if I take gradient of AD, if I'm taking here this as M2, here I have taken this as M1. So if you are taking this again, y2 minus y1 AD, if I take it here, so I can take minus 4 by here 1 minus of minus 3, right? So 1 minus of minus 3, which is going to be minus 8 by 4, and you are getting it as minus 2. So here you are getting half and this is you are getting minus 2. So you will say that here m1 times m2, if I take it, half times minus 2, which is nothing but minus 1. So this shows that AB is perpendicular on AD. So you are using the gradient property here, because you know that parallel line gradients are equal and perpendicular gradients are here negative reciprocal to each other. Now second part, what is, so this is your 4 marker question. Now second part, it says that find the coordinates of x of point C. Now here if you see point C, x coordinates are missing here. Now there are different ways to do it here. So one of the ways there, because you know that the gradients are equal of parallel lines. So either you can take these two of them are parallel, but we have already calculated the gradient of AB. So I can take this also as parallel and M1 will be equals to M2 if I am taking gradients of AB and gradient of CD. Or I can find out midpoint here, E coordinates, which is using these two B and D coordinates. And once I get it, I can again use midpoint of this. E is the midpoint of AB, and we can find out the value of here C x coordinate. Now I am going to use here the gradients are equal. So what you are going to write on here, if I'm taking 1B, how are you going to prove this? They are parallel here. So this one you need to show that you need to find out the coordinates of x. So you can take it here, since opposite sides are parallel, AB is parallel to DC, because ABCD is a rectangle, right? And in a rectangle opposite sides are equal and parallel. Now here if I take it here, then the gradient of AB equals to here, AB and AC are equal, or you can write down here gradient of AB will be equals to gradient of DC. gradient of DC. Now calculate AB gradient. You have already calculated as 6 by 12. So you can write down here 6 by 12 equals to DC gradient. You can take it as here 2 minus here 2 minus of minus 4 by x minus 1. So if I do the simplification, you will get the value of x here because you are getting here linear equation. So this is half is equals to 6 by x minus 1, and if we do the further simplification, do cross multiplication, you'll get x minus 1 is equals to 2 and x is equals to 3. So what are our coordinates of C here? C coordinates are going to be 13 comma 2, or the value of x is 13. That's your second part. Now what is given here in the third part? If you will see, it's a 3-marker question 1C. If I take it here, calculate the length of AB. Now, whenever you need to find out the length between here 2 points, you will use distance formula when the coordinates are given. So, you will use here first distance formula. First mention here what is the distance formula. If we take it here, x2 minus x1 whole square plus here y2 minus y1 whole square. Now if you take it here, we are finding the distance between AB. Here the calculator will not be given because it's written here, write your answer in the third form. So this section you will not have calculator. Make sure you are doing calculation by your own. So AB here, I can take it x2, it is 9 minus of minus 3 here whole square plus y2, it is 10 minus here 4 whole square. When you are doing this, just be careful with the calculation and sign part here, plus 6 square, and if you do further simplification, you can get it here. AB will be 12 square is 144 plus 36, which is root 10 180. Now I have to do here prime factorization so that I can write down the simplest form of surd. So 180 you can take it as 18 times 10, then 18 can be written as 2 into 3 square and 10 can be written as 2 into 5. So how can you write down? Write down the possible factors in square form. So 2 square into 3 square into 5, that is going to be 6 root 5 units. So 6 root 5 units is going to be the length of AB, which is in the third form. Now what is your last section here? It's given a 2-marker question. Determine the coordinates of E. Now here you should remember the property that the diagonals of a rectangle are bisect each other and they are equal. So you will write down here in 1D part, if I am taking here diagonals of a rectangle by are equal and bisect each other, right? Bisect each other. Using this property, this means E is the midpoint of AC and BD. So anything you can take it here, I can write down E is the midpoint of here, midpoint, because bisect means E is the midpoint of AC and BD. So any one set of coordinates you can take it here and you can use here midpoint formula. What is your midpoint formula here? You know that the endpoints coordinates, which is x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. So here if I am considering here B and D coordinates of E will be 9 plus 1 by 2 comma 10 minus 4 by 2. So 9 plus 1 10, this is going to be 5 minus here 6 by 2 will be 3. So your coordinates of E is going to be here 5 comma 3. Now this is the next question. It says an engineer is designing two types of ramps for skiing event. You can calculate the dimensions for the ramp. You will calculate the dimensions for the ramp. So here you can see that ramp 1 here and the cross section you can see as triangle, and this is the ramp 2 where this is not the regular figure here. So this is, you are going to calculate the dimension for these ramps. How are you going to do it? The first part, it says calculate the length B here. So this is nothing but this is the cross section of the ramp 1 can be modeled as a scalene triangle. So this one they have already given 60 degree and 105 degree, because what do we need to calculate here? Length B here. How to calculate the length B? Give your answer to correct to three significant figure. Now I can use here sine rule, because you know that here 60 degree opposite side is missing and 105 degree opposite side it is known. So what is the sine rule here? If I take it here, sine 60 by B can be written as here sine 105 by 3, or you can take the reciprocal and you can write down also B by sine 60, which will be equals to 3 by sine 105. So whichever way you feel it's comfortable, you can write down in that way. Now here make B as a subject here, so it will become 3 into sine 60. If you are having any doubt, just do the cross multiplication, take everything into the numerator. So here it's 105. Now I need the value of B, so I can take here sine 105 to left hand side. So 3 times sine 60 by here sine 105, which is equals to B, 2.6897, which is approximately three significant figure will be 2.69 here. Units, just see that it's given in meters, so it's going to be here 2.69 here meters, because you must write down the unit also. This is going to be the length of B part. Then next part here, what is given here? The cross section of ramp 2 is shown in the image. The curve path is modeled as the parabola. Parabola means you know that it is going to be quadratic function. So you can see that here they have given in the form of quadratic function here. What is the quadratic function given here? P of x is nothing but here a times x minus 2 whole square plus 1. Now where px represents the height of the ramp, here this is part is px, height of the ramp, and x represents the horizontal distance from the start of the ramp. So this is x is nothing but horizontal distance of the ramp. Dimensions in meter, everything whatever values you will get it is in meter. Now if you observe this, what is the first part 4b, which is one marker? Write down the minimum height of the ramp. You can see that here this is nothing but the upward parabola. So the minimum height is going to be at the vertex here, right? Which is what is going to be the vertex here. You can see that when you observe this function, your function, if it is in this form here, a times x minus h whole square plus k, then your vertex is always here h comma k. Now the similar way, if I observe this, so here what is going to be the vertex coordinates? It will become here minus 2, so it will be 2 comma 1. So what is going to be the height? H is going to be here. If you see this is going to be your height, which is the y coordinate, because here this is x, this is px, and px is representing height. So height is going to be 1 meter, because everything is given in meter. Now after that, what do I need to do here? We need to find out in the next part, show that a value is 0.4. So how are we going to do it here? Any point, if you see here y-intercept, that is 0 comma 2.6 here. So here other than vertex, this is known coordinate, so you can substitute this to get the value of here a, right? So how will we do it here? This is the value of x, this is the value of px. If I substitute in the function here, so y coordinate is 2.6, which is px, a times here 0 minus 2 whole square plus 1, which is 2.6 minus 1, and this is 0 minus 2 is minus 2 whole square, it is 4a, and this is 1.6 by 4, which is equals to a. So a is going to be equals to 0.4. So you reach to the value here, a is equals to 0.4. That is why your function now will be here 0.4 times x minus 2 whole square plus 1. Now in this question, what do we need to do it? Here you need to find out the horizontal length L of the ramp. So here if you will see, this is L, and if you will see the height here, it is known. So if I take the coordinates of this point is going to be x comma 1.4. So if I get here 0 to x here, x coordinate, then automatically we will get the length. So what is our function here? We already got here this function for this parabola 0.4 times x minus 2 whole square plus 1. Right now here, if I substitute 1.4 here, because this is the point x comma 1.4, so it will become here 0.4 times x minus 2 whole square plus 1, which is equals to px. I'm just writing to the right side. Now how will you do the simplification here? 0.4 times x minus 2 whole square plus 1 minus 1.4 is equals to 0. So 0.4 times x minus 2 whole square, because you can see that you are going to get here mostly quadratic equation, and you need to use quadratic formula or factorization. Now here both the terms, because we need to get the simplest form of the equation, 0.4 can be common. So this is x minus 2 whole square minus 1 is equals to 0. Now this will go here, 0.4 will become 0, and using a minus b identity, whole square identity, a minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. So x square minus 2ab will be 2 into x into 2. It is going to be minus 4x plus 4 minus 1 is equals to 0, which is x square minus 4x plus 3, which is equals to 0. So your product is 3. That can be taken as 1 into 3. Because we need minus 4, the product should be positive, sum should be negative. So you'll take the factors as minus 1 and minus 3. So do the splitting the middle term here. 3x plus 3, which is equals to 0. So if I do here grouping, x is common, x minus 1 minus 3 is common, x minus 1, which is equals to 0. So whenever you are doing this, what is the factorized form? X minus 3 times x minus 1, which is equals to 0. So x is 1 or 3. Now here there are two solutions. So look at your ramp here, because you already have the vertex coordinate, which is 2 comma 1. Now this place is 2 and this is right side of x. So because that's why we cannot take x less than here 2. So we will write on here x cannot be equals to here 1, because this point is to the right side of vertex, which should be more than 2, right? So x has to be greater than 2. So therefore you will take here x is going to be equals to 3. Now if x is 3 means L is also going to be 3 meters, because here x coordinate you are getting in the ramp here. This is the x coordinate, which is going to be total length from the origin, which is going to be 3 meter. So you are getting here L as 3 meters, which is the distance. Now this is the next question here, which is a 15 marker question. What is given in this question? You will explore relationships between genes and hair color of people in a community. Identity and relationships are important aspects of belonging within a community. In this question, you will explore how hair color can be linked to communities and hereditary traits. It is estimated that around 1 to 2% of the world population have natural red hair. The map illustrates area of world where red hair is located. From the map, you can see that in some parts of world, red hair is more common. Research has shown that likelihood of a person having red hair is attributed to the genes inherited from each parent. One gene from each parent. However, there are other factors also involved. If a child inherits two red hair genes, one from each parent, they are likely to have red hair. However, this is not a certainty. If a child inherits only one or no red hair gene, then they are less likely to have red hair, but it is possible. A research group A is exploring the relationship between genes and red hair in a community. A random sample of 1500 people from a community are studied. The probability tree diagram below illustrates the result from the sample group. So what are the key here? So this is based on here, this question is based on here probability, right? So even G represents people have two red hair genes. Now G naught or G dash represents people do not have red hair genes. C represents people have red hair, and C dash C complement or not C represents do not have red hair. So we call G represents two red hair genes. G naught or G complement represents they do not have two red hair genes. C represents people that have red hair, and C complement or C not represent people do not have red hair. Now, what is given here? The first question says, what is given here? G intersection C. So the people, the probability of selecting a person who have two red hair gene and has red hair. So this is the intersection, means it's a common part, and rule will be there. Then here G intersection C complement means probability of selecting a person who has two red hair genes and does not have red hair. So what will come here if they are saying probability of selecting a person who does not have two red hair genes? That means it is going to be here G complement, and has red hair means it is going to be C. Then here, so this is probability of here G dash intersection G complement intersection C. Now probability of selecting a person who does not have here, because it's a G complement intersection C complement. So it will be here, you need to type here, does not have two red hair genes and here does not have red hair also. So this is a two marker question which is very easy. The next question what is given here, it's a 5B 3 marker. We need to find out the missing value in the given probability tree diagram. So observe it carefully. So first one, having two red hair gene, then G complement not having, and altogether the probability is always 1. So how can I get this here? You can do here 1 minus 0.15. So the probability is going to be 0.85, right? Then after that here, if I'm having then having red hair, not having red hair. The person who is having two red hair gene, they may or may not have red hair. So here, but they have not given any of the probability, but the intersection is given. So you can calculate here. You know that here PG intersection C is going to be here probability of G times probability of here C. Now we are having here intersections 0.135. P of G is divided by 0.15, and we can get here probability of getting here a red hair, which is going to be here 0.9. Now if the probability here, if it is 0.9, then what do we get it here? This is 0.9, it will be 0.1, because not having red hair will be the sum of both is going to be 1. Similarly here it's already given 0.06 having red hair but not having two red hair genes, and here it will be 0.94. So you are just filling the missing probability. Now here what do we get it here? Because we are coming G dash G complement intersection C, you multiply these two here, so that is 0.051 is the probability of this. Right now here, what else is given here? 5D part. So you fill here all the missing part, which is carrying 3 marks here. The next question, question number 5D. Given that the community has population 15,500, correct to 3 significant figure, estimate the lower bound for the number of people that have red hair in this community. So first you need to find out here what is the upper and lower bound. So if I'm writing here 15,500, the greater than equals to, and this, because left hand side value is going to be lower bound, this side value will be upper bound. Because it is to the nearest to the hundreds place, 3 significant figure, it will become 15,400, 15,500, 50 is going to be upper bound. Now what is the probability of having red hair? Red hair, it can be this condition, so that having two red genes and getting here red hair, or not having red genes, still yeah, they are having here red hair. So it can be here P, where you are having G intersection C, or probability of G dash intersection C. Now it is a OR rule, that means you need to add the probability. So that is going to be this plus probability of G dash intersection C. You are having both the probability. What is there? The value 0.1 135 plus 0.051. Then if I do this, I'll be getting here 0.186 is the probability of getting here red hairs. Now here you are getting the probability, but we need to find out the lower bound of the number. So whatever, because this is for 1, so for 15 lower bound is 15,450. So what will be the population here? Number of red hair who is going to have here, people have here red hair is going to be equals to 0.186 times 15,450 as 2873.7, which is approximately 2873 or 2874. If you can do round up or round down. Here we left 5C question. There was one more question here. What is given here? It's a 2-marker question. It says that show that even G and C are not independent, and you know that to show that it is independent, you have to take it here if this is true. Here, if it is probability of having two red hair genes times here probability of C, if this is true, then they are true, then G and C are independent events. This is the rule to check whether they are independent events or not. Independent events. So here we are already having here P G intersection C. You got it as 0.135. And what is the probability of people having here? Probability that there are two red genes here, which is 0.15, and probability of having red hair you already calculated in 5D part, because we need to do this calculation. This is 0.186 because you need to add their probabilities. So here it is 0.186. You need to show this calculation here, right? Then here if I take it here, take the product here. If I'm taking P of G times P of C, that is going to be here 0.186 times 0.15, we are getting it as here 0.0279, and 0.0279 is not equals to 0.135 here. That means this shows here since PG intersection C is not equals to P of G times here P of C, then you can write down therefore G and C are not independent events. So in probability you see that to check here whether they are independent events or not. So this part is done. C part is also done. D we have already done here. Now after that, what is the next question here? A different research group B conducts the same study with the same community. However, they are having 800 people. There were 1500 people they were doing it, right? And here there are only 800 people. Now what is written here? Write down the missing value in the Venn diagram. Now here what is given here, G represents the people are having two red genes and it's the same detail. C means people are having red hair. Now how do we do it all together? You know that this is the universal set, and whenever universal set is there, all together it's 800. So the missing value you are already having here 800 minus 700 plus 10 plus 20. If you'll take it, you can get the missing value 800 minus 730. That is going to be 70. So here you will fill the value here as 70. The missing value is 70. Now what is the next follow-up question here? Research group B makes the following conclusion. Approximately 1 in n people from this community have red hair. Given that n is a whole number, find the value of n. Now here if you will do the comparison, 1 out of n will be same as here. How many people are having red hair using the Venn diagram? Here 90 people are having here red hair out of 800. Now to make n as a subject, it will be 80 by 9, which is equals to here. If I do 80 by 9, we are getting here 8.88 8, which is, you will do the round up because here number of people here cannot be in decimal, so it is going to be here 9 people, right? So n is going to be here, total here 9 people are there, so n is approximately, the value is going to be 9. After that, the next question, write down the percentage difference between the probability of having red hair of these two research group. Now look at here, we were having, in this case, we were having people having red hair, we already have 0.186 is the probability. And here if I take it here, this is red hair, it is 90 out of 80 and we need to convert it into percentage. So here group A, so you can take it here, probability of C, it is 0.186, and group B, probability of people having red hair is 90 out of 800. Convert it into percentage, it will be 0.186 times 100, which is here 18.6%. Because here whenever we need to convert it into percentage, we can multiply into 100. You can convert this into 186 by 1000 into 100% also, you will get the same value. So this is the percentage of from group A, and here if you convert it into percentage, you will get it as 90 by 800 times 100%. If I do it here, this is 90 by 8, which is coming it as here 11.25. This is 11.25 percentage. Now what is the difference here? First you need to convert it into percentage. Now the difference of percentage we need to find out here. Difference of probability and the percentage difference of percentage, it will be 18.6% minus 11.25%. You will get it as 7.35 percentage. So this is the percent difference between these two research groups. Now this question, if you'll see, it's a 15 marker question and based on surface area volume. What is given here, if you read it, this is going to be given as the following. Video explains the use of sleeves for paper cups. So these are the paper cups and there are sleeves here, right? Cupboard sleeves are used to reduce the discomfort of holding a hot paper cup. So at the top of the cup, this is this holder, the sleeve holders are there, which is made by cardboard. Now here what is written, the sleeve forms part of sector of a circle as shown. So here you can see that this is a sleeve which is forming here part of the sector. This is the brown color part, it is part of sector here. Sleeve of the cup. Right now, what is given? The dimensions are also given here. Now, if you will see this sector, because this is the sleeve, it is made by this rectangular sheet here, which is in the width is 7.6 and the length is 25.1. In this question you will make calculation to find out the area of the sleeve. So area of the sleeve, if you will see that this is made by the sector of the circle, right? So here it is made by the sector. So how you are going to make it here? The dimension of the sleeves are provided on the diagram in centimeter here. The dimensions of the sleeves are provided on the diagram in centimeter. This is stage 3 where this width is given here and here it is 5.7. Then stage 4 you will see that they are just drawing here the line where the angle here it is x, here this angle is y, and they are dividing 25.1, it is the diameter, so 12.55 and 10.6. Now what do we need to find out here? We need to find out here, show that the value of angle y is 70. If you will see, y angle is this small angle. This part of the angle here, it is y. Now, how can we calculate? We know that here some dimensions are known here. Now, this part is 10.6. So, they are making here lines. So, this much part is going to be 10.6. This is looking like this here. This part is y, and how much will be this length? It will be 12.55 here. 12.55 minus 10 point. Understand, this small part is angle y. This part here it is 5.7, and this part if you take 12.55 minus 10.6, you are getting here 1.95. How to get angle y here? Angle y, you can take it here. This is adjacent by hypotenuse, which is cos, so I can take it here. Cos y is 1.95 by 5.7, so y will be equals to cos inverse 1.95 by 5.7, and approximately 69.994 degrees. Now here, which is because we take till one decimal place anytime any angle, so this is approximately equals to 70 degree. So angle y is 70 degree. Here we got it. So this part is done here, 3 marker question. Now the second part, if you will see, you need to determine the value of x to the nearest degree. Now x, if you will see, this is the complete angle here, it is x. So how can you do it here? I can take this, divide it into two congruent triangles. So if I take here A, B, C here, uh, right, and here if it is D, then you can see that here triangle here, if I take BCD, 90 degree plus y plus here it will be half of x. So what is going to be this angle if we get it here? This one, if I'm taking this angle BCD here, BCD will be equals to 180 degree. You already got y as 70 degree. So angle BCD will be 180 degree minus 160, which is nothing but 20 degree. Now because this is 20 degree, this part also will be 20 degree because both the triangles are congruent triangles. Why they are congruent here? Because you can see here one of the congruency criteria, this angle is same, right, and this is the common side here because this part is equals to this. And what is the correspondence here? If I'm taking here BCD, triangle is congruent to triangle here ACD. So you have to see the correspondence. Angle B will be equals to angle A, so this angle also will be Y. Now using here which congruence criteria, we are taking here SAS criteria. So that is why here, because the corresponding part of congruent triangles are equal, so it will be angle ACD. So angle ACD, both the angles will be here 20 degree. Therefore x is going to be here double of 20 degrees, which is nothing but equals to 40 degree. So we got this angle as 40 degree. Now after that, what is the next part here? If you'll see 5C, it is 3 marker. We need to calculate the value of V. Now V is nothing but the slant height of the smaller triangle here. If you'll see this. Now how to get this one here? If I'm already having this part, we don't have height, we need to get this. If this is V, we can take it here. You can use either similarity, or I can use here, because two of the sides are, one of the side is known, I can use here trigonometric ratio also to calculate this. Now if I use trigonometric ratio, how can you solve it here? V is the part of this small triangle, and we are having here 20 degrees. So using trigonometric ratio, I can take here, this is the hypotenuse, V is hypotenuse and this is opposite, so sine 20 degree will be equals to 10.6 by V. So V will be equals to 10.6 by sine 20, which is going to be equals to here 30.992, which is approximately here 31 centimeter, right? How to use the similarity? This is similarity because here you know the ratio, the known ratio, it's known here, because you know that in similarity the big and small triangle are going to be similar. This big triangle will be similar to this small triangle because using AA here, similarity, because this angle is going to be equals to this, corresponding angles are equal, 90 degree angles are equal, and this angle is already 20 degree, which is common. So I can take it here, the corresponding sides will be in equal ratio. So 12.55 by 10.6 will be equals to, here the big one is V plus 5.7 by here V. Now here if you do the simplification, you can get the V value as 31 centimeter approximately. After that, what do we have here in question number 4? Find the area of the sleeve. Now we are already having this length because we need it. This is nothing but the radius here. Now how to get the area of this sector part? You can see that there are two sectors. So here if I take the bigger sector minus here, if I remove the smaller sector, this sector if I remove, then we'll be left with this brown color sleeve area, right? So here area of sleeve, because this angle is now known, it is 40 degree, so we have the central angle also. So here we can take it here, area of big sector minus area of small sector. Now what is going to be here, the radius here, if you are taking here, the radius is going to be smaller sector here, R is 31, and if I take the big sector capital R, that will be 31 plus 5.7, that is going to be 36.7 centimeters. So if I take it here, it is theta by 360 pi small r square minus here theta by 360 pi capital R square. Now what is here theta? Theta is 40 by 360 times pi, and R is here the greater value 31, 36.7 whole square minus 40 by 360 pi is as it is, smaller r is going to be here 31 whole square. Now you can take the common value outside also, and later on you can do the calculation here. 49s are, this is also 1 by 9. So you can take here pi by 9 common, and then here 36.7 square minus 31 square. We are getting the value approximately as 134.7 square centimeter. Right, so this is the area of the this remaining sleeve here. Now what is the next part here? You need to find out here, the sleeve is cut out from 25.1 centimeter by 7.6 centimeter rectangle. Calculate the percentage of material wastage. So first you get here area of rectangle, which is going to be equals to 25.1 times 7.6, which is a 190.76 square centimeter. Now area of sleeve in the previous bit you already got it, which is by subtracting the area of sector, which is 134.7 square centimeter. Now what is the wastage here? You have to first get the wastage. Wastage is 190.76 minus 134.7, that you get it as 56.06 square centimeter. Now here, now so what is going to be, because we need to get the wastage in percentage, so 56.06 out of original area, which is 190.76 of then 100%. So if I do this 29.38 percentage, which is approximately 29.4 percentage wastage of material, it is there. Other than this, here if you will see the criteria B based questions, you need to see here criteria B, which is, if you know, see that is going to be investigating patterns. Here investigating patterns for 32 marks, 32 marks. Check my sequence video here, how you are going to write down, because this is very scoring. You are easily able to find out the pattern, but how you need to write down the answer, you can check this video part. Other than that, statistics video also, the weightage sometime will be more for statistic topic, so you check statistics video also, like how you have to give the answer for such questions. Hope you got this.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Also, keep practicing.